Tim Pool, I do like Tim Pool. Tim Pool had a really interesting take on everything that's going on in the world right now. Like, we're looking at this indictment of Trump. This indictment of Trump is the craziest one yet. Literally the craziest one yet. It says in the indictment, one, of course, is allowed to question elections and lodge complaints with the legal objections, right? And recount. But here's the thing. They all, I knew they were going to do it at the time when they rushed to certify every single crooked vote, right? They rushed to certify it and they threw everything out on standing rather than on merit. They were just going to forget about all of that and go, no, it was all fine. He didn't know what he was talking about. So the crux of it is they're saying in his mind he knew they were lying. He was lying because these people. It hasn't ever occurred to them that they're wrong, right? It's literally never ever occurred to them. Well, of course. And they just get so frustrated that reality doesn't, agree with them, right? It's so annoying that the world is shit now, and it was very good under Trump. And again, he might not like the Trump stuff, but his. Track record, I don't think anyone can really. Again, I was going to say anyone can really question. I was going to say, well, that's wrong because everybody. Not only does everybody question it, they just ignore it, or they come up with these insane excuses. Oh, that was a bubble. What was it? No, really. And again, look, this is an insight into my very bonkers way of looking at reality, right? Because I believe in God, right? So I look at things in a very weirdly simplistic yet much more complicated way, where where God liked what Trump was doing, right? And so God blessed Trump, essentially, right? And then everything was good, right? It was incredible here. Where's that cartoon I saw? Let me just download this. Doink. It's is this the right video? Because I am getting more and more impressed with Vivek Ramaswamy. I believe that if Trump is knocked out, most of his support's going to go to him, right? And I think it's going to be an awesome candidate. He is absolutely awesome. Let me make sure. How long is this? Fine. Let's have a look at this quickly. This is a good place to start. Where is it? Let me pull it up. Doing. So assuming I got the right video here, this is his response to Trump's indictment, and it was pitch perfect in many, many, many ways, right? So is he auditioning for the role of VP to Trump, or is he going to be or is he really going for president? I think he's playing the field because he's very smart. Right, I think he can go many different ways. If Trump gets knocked out, because he hasn't attacked Trump. He's been very supportive of him while still running against him. Hard to do, man. He is the opposite of the Pence and DeSantis campaigns. Anyway, this was his response, which was, I think, pitch perfect.
I am running for U.S. president in that same Republican primary. It would be easier for me if Donald Trump were eliminated from competition.
Okay, why would I love all support to go to Vivek Ramaswamy? Because they want to say anybody votes for Trump hates brown people, right? Wouldn't that be? And if wouldn't, because I think he would get support in a landslide. Ron DeSantis has destroyed his career. I mean, I think literally destroyed his career with this campaign. Apparently, right? They went apeshit, his campaign, from when somebody posted a picture of the person running the campaign had carpet burns on their knees, intimating that she was, on her knees for Ron. And that's a kind of a nasty, stupid, misogynistic insult. But they have just insanely attacked everyone, right? They just went nuclear on everyone. Anyway, Vivek has the perfect response.
That's not how I want to win. This is not about politics to me. This is about first principles. We do not want to become a country where the party in power is able to use banana republic-like tactics to eliminate its political opponents.
And it's amazing that, like, you get this glassy stare from the people on CNN, like, go, well, of course he's guilty. I mean, they're like, well, yes, no, he could. That was an insurrection, absolutely. And that's why they can't answer it. You can't. Why do they always scream and scream and scream? So you want to shut you up, because they can't answer any questions. Which actually is going to really tie into Doctor Who in a minute, right? I didn't get the latest. I haven't been getting the Colin Baker releases, but they put out a clip on YouTube, and it like showed me exactly why. It was the Doctor taking the point of view of the people who can't talk, right? Because once you drill down into any of their claims, they fall apart so completely.
Yet I'm sad to say that's exactly where we are. The allegations in this indictment fall flat. It is wrong and incorrect and inaccurate to place blame for what happened on January 6th at the feet of Donald Trump. I said this at the time. I've said it ever since then. I continue to say it today.
See, where I think he's doing fantastically, but this is unscripted, right? Where I think he's doing absolutely fantastically is he's just talking. I don't know if he's talking honestly or not. He sounds like he is. He sounds like he's just a person talking, right? And he will go anywhere and say, ask me anything. Ask me anything, I'll answer. And he doesn't. This is why he's so much stronger than every other politician. Because everything they do is fed through a million research groups and and talking points and bullet points. This guy just understands what he's talking about and will respond.
I would not have made the same judgments that Donald Trump did in how he handled that day.
So I want you to pay attention to that. This is brilliant, right? This is truly brilliant. He's attacking Donald Trump without denigrating him. Such an incredible skill, right? Trump can't do that. Man, I would love to see this guy on a debate stage with Biden or Gavin Newsom or whoever it's going to be. Like, Kamala Harris, wouldn't that be insane? That would be insane. I still believe Trump is going to become president. But again, let's wait and see.
But that's different from saying that he committed a crime. He did not. He specifically told the protesters that day to behave peacefully. The First Amendment in this country gives political protesters the ability to express themselves.
So, yeah, the reason why, again, CNN and best about every part of the media can't cope with that, right? Will never, because it completely destroys their argument, right? Again, and that's why they scream. That's why they can't. They really can't talk. They go insane.
And their opinions freely. Donald Trump was not responsible for what happened on January 6th.
That would be the FBI, all things considered. But carry on.
Want to know what was responsible? I said this in the days after January 6, 2021, just as I say it today. Systematic, pervasive censorship in this country. That was after a year where we had told people across this nation that you had to stay locked down in your house, in your basement, and shut up, sit down, do as you're told. If you question that, you're racist, you're anti-science, you're social...
You're anti-science. Remember that? Lab leak was racist? For God's sake, how stupid. It's insane. Like, it's genuinely. It really is. But I think, we're talking like genuinely people have had mental illness because of Trump. I think Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing because we've all seen it.
Media accounts were silenced. You had to stay home and lock down unless you were part of BLM or Antifa, in which case it was perfectly fine to roam the streets of this country and burn many of them down. That was the double standard that then applied and said that if you said the virus originated in a lab in Wuhan, you were again a racist and had your internet accounts shut down.
Oh, I mean, don't be wrong. I love Trump, but I would love this guy to be president. Okay, I really do. But, see, I would like Trump to win because, it's got that whole arc, that whole story arc that really, really works in. But this guy's awesome.
You were then told you had an election where you could express yourself to put the right person in charge of fixing these problems. And instead, your accounts were suppressed if you sent a mere message saying that the Hunter Biden laptop story from the New York Post was real. You had your accounts locked. Even the New York Post had its own account locked. And if you repeatedly then tell people they cannot speak, that is when they scream. If you repeatedly tell people they cannot scream, that is when they tear things down. And I think we are making a grave mistake in this country by trying to pin the blame for that at the feet of one man.
Well, when I say they tear things down, you do need to be, have your mind messed with by FBI or whatever, some kind of government, like whoever Rayette's, whatever Rayette's work for, right? Who's the guy who started the January 6th? I mean, that's the guy who should be on trial.
If we refuse to learn our mistakes from our mistakes in the past.
See that flub? That means he's not reading from a teleprompter. That's freaking impressive, right? He just knows what he's got to say and says it.
We are doomed to suffer an even worse fate in the future. I worry that will create a country where January 6, 2021 was a friendly parlay compared to what's actually to come.
So I think he's 100% right? Like, again, Tim Pool uses great analogy. Like what we're seeing right now is like all these indictments happening. It's like we're on a beach and it's chilling, but we can see in the distance this huge hurricane coming, like storm, and it's in the distance, and we know it's coming. We know it's coming to us, 2024. I don't see how, without some divine influence, intervention or something, that there's not blood on the streets, right? I just don't see how it happens.
I'm running for president to make sure we don't march towards some kind of national divorce. But the first and most important step that we as candidates can take in this race is to speak and speak forcefully on the side of principle, to say that even if we're competing against Donald Trump, as I am, I do not want to see him eliminated from competition.
See, this is why he's going to get all of Trump's supporters if Trump's knocked out. I mean, again, he's basically has the same message: a complete destruction of the administrative state. Right? I get it. There's nothing I don't like about this guy. Where is he on Israel? I imagine it's pretty good, and I love that he's very openly, unabashedly believes in God and believes in traditional values.
Using these politicized tactics. It is wrong for our country. It is wrong for our future. I call on my fellow candidates to condemn it, and I call on President Biden to do the right thing and drop these politicized charges. That's going to be a first step towards uniting our country.
Yeah, again, and you know what? Anybody smart would have joined it. If all the candidates, right, would have said, yes, this is wrong. But Pence is such a freaking moron. And the trouble with DeSantis, I mean, other than his communication team being absolutely useless, right? Really, genuinely not useless, counterproductive, worse than useless, right? It is that he's now he's got two people two groups he's trying to appease. He's got the donor class and he's got the his base, right? And they're going in different directions. The donor class is traditional neocon, right? Just business as usual. Whereas Vivek is something different. So anyway, I just Googled because I really was curious, like, where is he on Israel? Right? So I just looked this up. Jewish News Syndicate. No, that sounds pretty good. But he says, Ramaswamy, I want to go even further than Trump on the Abraham Accords. Okay, baby. Dude. Again, I don't want Trump to get knocked out, but if he does, this dude is getting my my vote. On the entrepreneur and Republican president candidate just told JNF far left ideologies calls of rising anti-Semitism. He's right about freaking everything, this guy. Right? And so, I mean, honestly, for the Republicans, he is so much better a candidate than Trump, right? Like, just so much better. But again, I'm with the Trump stuff. So, he's being indicted today for January 6th because they say in his head he knew he was lying and he lost. No, in his head there's no part of Donald Trump that believes he lost that election. Just no part whatsoever, right? There's not a bone in his body. And they kept saying, look, there's no evidence whatsoever of, electoral malfeasance. Now, I was only able to say this for the last few months on Twitter because they know he's going to win. And so they got to allow this criticism for when he's in office. Let me see. What was this answering to? Somebody said, we all know, but he never offered any proof, right? This is the thing they always say. There's no proof, right? There's no proof whatsoever. No, you're just too dumb and uninterested to research. It was Amanda Milius. That person. Okay. I held 5,000 pages of it in boxes personally from one state. Wow. That were disregarded by a corrupt judge in less than 2 hours. So you're so far out of your element. I can't believe there are people like you or anybody who thinks that this is the. They all do, right? And honestly, here's what I think is going to happen. I think that this is all going to blow up in the Democrats' faces, right? I think this is all going to completely blow up in their faces because, again, I think that's happened every time before. And I think, honestly, I think God's in control, mate. Right, and I think we're on. I don't know what kind of ride we're on. Right, I do not know what kind of ride we're on, but I think this cartoon is pretty darn accurate. Right, I really. So if you can't see, if you're just listening, you got Trump with all these chains on him, walking up steps from each step is a different year: 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. And each chain is like January 6th, Ukraine call, Spygate, Mueller. By the way, there's very credible evidence now that 9/11 could have been stopped if the director of the FBI wasn't a moron. You know who the director of the FBI was at the time? Mueller, right? New York grand jury, Russian hoax. And I just think this is the way things are going to go down. But man, that Vivek Ramaswamy, props to him. Genuinely props to him. I think I do think he knows what he's doing, and he's everywhere, right? He will go on anyone and talk to anyone at any time. DeSantis running scared, right? He will not go to new media, right? Which gives you an idea of what kind of person he is. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.